So you're in your 50s or maybe your 60s and you just don't have much to show for in your retirement accounts. The natural tendency is to think, gosh, it's too late. I've missed my opportunity at a successful retirement. I'm just going to have to rely upon Social Security and my kids to take care of me once I stop working. But that's not true, and there's still so much that can be done. Today I want to take a minute to just educate and hopefully encourage you on the possibilities that are still yet ahead for even those that are a little behind the mark on retirement. Now, I hate to sound simplistic, but the truth is the strategy for somebody that's behind the mark is not that different from somebody that's on time. If you didn't see my last video titled How to Save for Retirement, I'd highly recommend that you go back and watch that video, because what it does is basically lay out the proper order for stashing money away into your retirement accounts. If you're not going to watch it, let me just give it to you in a nutshell right now. It goes like this. Number one, you contribute to your 401k up to the company match. Number two, open a Roth IRA, max it out. Number three, go back to your 401k and put in as much as you can beyond the match. The biggest difference for late savers is that they're just going to be contributing more than their younger peers into these various retirement accounts. Now, one advantage of being over the age of 50 is that the IRS actually allows you to put in more money through what they call catch-up contributions. So for a 401k, you can actually do an extra $6,000 per year, and into an IRA, it's an extra $1,000 per year. And that brings you to the limits in 2018 of $24,500 for 401k or 403b, and $6,500 per year into an IRA. Now, between these two accounts alone, if all you did is contribute to those over the course, let's say for the next 15 years, you're 50 today, you want to retire at age 65, you would have about $465,000 stashed away for retirement. Now, if we added a realistic 7% rate of return to that number, it'd end up being about $820,000. Not bad for a late bloomer, right? Now, if you want to contribute more than that and you're married, then your working spouse can actually do the same thing, and you can essentially double those figures, which ends up pushing you, into 1.5 million and beyond range. If your spouse doesn't work, then that's okay. You can still do what's called a catch-up contribution for them, which means you can max out an IRA on their behalf each year. If you own your own business, then there's even more possibilities, because then you can start getting into things called solo 401ks or individual 401k accounts, and those actually have much higher contribution limits than your employer-sponsored retirement plan. This leads me to my final point here. It's not really about the amount that you can contribute or the limits. What's really more important, or what it comes down to more often, is are you carving out the money from your monthly budget to put money into these accounts? It's very rare that somebody isn't going to make retirement. I'd say it never happens because the fees are too high, or because they just didn't get a big enough rate of return. Typically, it's just because they didn't put any money away. Now, if you're not close to hitting these relatively generous limits, then I'd say just put away what you can and put it away in the order that I laid out in my last video. Saving for retirement is not an all or nothing endeavor, although it might feel that way sometimes. Having something saved up is definitely better than having nothing, even if you're not able to really hit your ultimate target. If you're able to do little things like pay off your mortgage and your credit cards and your car loans, that's going to go a long way once you get to retirement, because essentially what you're doing is lowering the amount of income that you're going to need once you do enter into retirement. So I hope this information was helpful. As you know, I'm Matthew Holt with Christian Wealth Management. If you learned something new, hit that like button, share this video with a friend. Feel free to message me with questions, and until next time, may God richly bless you and your finances.